Hello, Canadians. I beg of you, wake up. We need a revolution in this country. There are traitors in our government. Traitors in our government. It has just been revealed that the $1 billion contract, taxpayer dollars, Canadian taxpayer dollars, that was given to China by Freeland, they knew about it. The Liberal government has been gaslighting the Canadian people, saying it was a BC Ferries decision, that they had nothing to do with it. New emails unveiled today reveal the fact that Freeland, Minister of Transport, who just resigned right before this was revealed, knew 6 weeks in advance that $1 billion of our Canadian taxpayer dollars were going to be shipped off to China after the Liberals gaslit Canadians in 2024 during the election, said they were going to build Canada strong. They are traitors to this country. We cannot let Freeland get away with this. The CBC, CTV, not a single goddamn news story on this. We cannot let it go. No story better exemplifies how traitorous the Liberal Party of Canada is. So in the House of Commons, Freeland got up in front of 41 million Canadians and said that the $1 billion that were sent to China to build 4 ferries for BC was a BC Ferries decision. You can watch the video yourself. She states it was a BC Ferries decision. The federal government had absolutely nothing to do with it. That has been revealed to be a sociopathic lie. I've just read through the emails. Freeland was notified 6 weeks in advance that BC Ferries was going to send $1 billion taxpayer dollars to a country that hates Canada, the CCP, China, that the Liberals, for whatever reason, might have something to do with the fact that they gave Brookfield Asset Management $250 million in the past 2 years. Mark Carney, that scumbag selling Canadians out. The CCP, rather than we have steel producers in Canada who are desperate for work. It could have easily been given to Canadian workers, but instead the project was handed over to China and we were lied to. The reason that you will not hear this on the CBC, you will not hear this on CTV, the reason that Freeland all of a sudden, after 3 months vacation and the proroguement of government, resigns a couple days in, is because it's been revealed how absolutely corrupt and traitorous she is. All of a sudden, she leaves as head as Minister of Transport and becomes head money launderer to Ukraine, is what it should really be defined in the Canadian government, but special envoy to Ukraine. She left her position because she blatantly stood in front of the House of Commons and said the federal government had nothing to do with $1 billion of our taxpayer dollars being sent over to China, which has been revealed to be a complete lie. Freeland was notified 6 weeks in advance. And you know what they emailed? You know what the Liberal ministers were emailing one another about? These people who claim to be protecting Canadians, putting Canadians first, they actually put Canadians last through their disgusting policies that sell us out. The fact that we have 7.1% unemployment, 22% youth unemployment among males is purely due to insane Liberal policies that sell us out every day. You know what the Liberals were saying behind closed doors? Well, in front of the House of Commons, they were saying they had no foresight of the fact that BC Ferries was going to send $1 billion Canadian taxpayer dollars to China. They were strategizing about how to bullshit the Canadian people. They were strategizing how they were going to lie to our faces about the fact that they were not aware that we were sending $1 billion over to China. These people are traitorous. The Liberal Party of Canada, it's been scandal after scandal after scandal, them screwing the Canadian people over. Trudeau's 10 years, there was never a more corrupt parliament in Canadian history. The big names, the SNC scandal, SNC Lavalin, the We Charity scandal, multiple sources coming out and saying it was the most corrupt government they've ever seen in Canadian history. And we are seeing a continuation of that under Mark Carney. This cannot be allowed to continue. Our country will cease to exist in the next 5 years if we continue these insane immigration policies. The Liberals sell us out at every single time. In a country that is the second largest landmass of any country in the world, incredible natural resources, the fact that we have the smallest economy in the G7, the highest unemployment rate in the G7, the highest CPI in the G7, it's only explainable by the fact that the Liberal Party is literally selling us out. Mark Carney is working on behalf of The WF, Davos, and Brookfield Asset Management, policy after policy after policy. You look at his Build Canada Homes announcement, it was fake. It was totally fake what they set up in Imperial. Reporters showed up 2 days later, there was nothing there. This whole government is fake. They are selling us out at every single turn. They are intentionally destroying our beautiful country. Those of us who have ancestors who died Vimy Ridge, who died World War II, fought valiantly, enough is a goddamn enough. We need revolution in this country. Demand that our local reporters demand that Chrystia Freeland explain herself, why she lied, and now the Liberals, as they always do, are gaslighting the Canadian people. And despite the fact that the documents have been public, they're still coming out and saying, we had no awareness of this. It's unbelievable the lengths to which these sociopaths will go to lie. But look into it yourself. We need to start making more noise because, as expected, the CBC, CCV absolutely refuse to report on what's going on. They receive $1.5 billion a year from the federal government. They refuse to tell you the truth. CBC is a pure propaganda outlet. You cannot trust a word, let alone a sentence that comes out of their mouth. We must demand as Canadians explanations as to why we have been lied to by this government time and time and time again. And then they gaslight us. They gaslight us. They lie. They gaslight. They are sociopaths. There is no other way to describe what Chrystia Freeland is doing right now. We must demand that she show up in front of the House of Commons and explain exactly why she lied to the Canadian people time and time again about sending $1 billion of our Canadian taxpayer dollars overseas and lying about knowing about it. Please share, like this video, subscribe, join, become a member. We have to share this far and wide because the Canadian media is not going to say a goddamn peep about it. So we have to spread the word on social media. If you're following me on TikTok, make sure you're following on YouTube, youtube.com/IFightForCanada 2025, because I'm over 17,500 followers and the Canadian government is not a big fan of distance. We need to expose the traitors in the Canadian government.